Hey, what's good, everybody? So I've been getting a lot of requests in my stream to go through dungeons and have breakdowns, like piece by piece, what I'm thinking about, what I'm tracking in my head. So that's what I want to try and do in this dungeon guide here. I'm going to start with Azure Vault 25, which I believe we time. And I'm just going to go through and talk to you about what I'm actually thinking. Let me know in the comments after, during, however you want to do it. Just let me know what you think is good about this video, what you think could be improved. Just saying this video sucks might not be too helpful, but if you can just let me know what you want to see more of, like how I can help you guys be better at this spec. That's what I want to know. So please let me know. Please let me know what's helpful. And yeah, we'll just kind of go through this. So obviously in this first pack, this is quite a standard pull that we're going to do now. We're going to do all 6 lashes. So what I'm thinking in my head is I'm kicking Skull. So I've set this as my focus marker, and I've got a cool weaker I can link in the description of how you can do this kind of stuff. But now I'm just thinking, right, like I'm going to get this kick, I'm going to put dots up on everything, I'm staying back behind these mobs, and I know that these mobs are going to be doing the piercing shard soon. So I'm trying to just rotate around, and as the tank's moving, I'm trying to mirror and do the opposite to them. Now, I know that I'm going to be able to in-cap Raw soon, but I'm just letting all the other like specs get their AoE stuns out. We've got a Demon Hunter, we've got a Warrior, they can do their stuff. I'm going to look to in-cap here because there were multiple casts towards the end of this pull. So that's the point at which it's like the most intense. So that's what I'm saving my in-cap roll for. If I know that we've got like a couple of stuns in the group, which we do, we also have a knock-up, then it makes sense for me to hold my in-cap roll, which is going to be on like off the DR of the stun, right? Now we go to this, I mark my target again, I'm looking to like help with explosives. The way I'm killing these is by auto-attacking, and whilst I'm auto-attacking them, I'm also doing like Thrash and Brutal Slash and that kind of stuff. I can even look to use Apex Bites on them. I don't really want to, but I can, and I'll just auto-attack them the whole time. So tank pulls in more mobs. I make sure I line of sight across the wall here, just so that then any of the mobs coming through, I don't get hit from the juice. Now I'm looking to still kick my mob and try and help with some of these explosives here. Meanwhile, I'm like performing my whole rotation. So in my head, whilst I'm tracking all this, and I know that there are going to be some things here, maybe I'm even going to look for, well, I don't have in-cap roar anymore, so I'm looking at what else I can do. I mean, I have Typhoon, so I think I Typhooned some of them recently as well, and then looking to get my skull kick there. And I switched onto the tree. Oh yeah, my kick is the tree, so I'm looking at that there. I look to do a Shadow Meld Rake as well. That's something that you can do. So I've done that as well. Those things also help. Playing Night Elf is really beneficial because you can do those Shadow Meld Rakes, which will stun a mob, stop it from casting and whatnot. But also it can reset your threat, which is really, really nice. So I was stupid there. I didn't look at bursting. Almost got somebody killed. That's on me. That's a big iffy. So I need to be careful of that. But meanwhile, like whilst I'm looking, my brain is compartmentalized split into doing 2 different things the whole time when I'm in a dungeon. One is mechanics and kicks and all that kind of stuff, and I cycle through my head between like, okay, what's the most important thing that I do here? I don't really want to Typhoon straight away, because if I Typhoon, I'm not going to knock everything away, which is kind of annoying to the group, and I might potentially Typhoon something behind the tank, and then that mob's going to hit the tank in the back, and it's going to one-tap them, right? So tanks are real squishy when they get hit from behind, so you have to be careful with that with Typhoon. So I want to use that as maybe more of like a last resort, and I instead want to look to in-cap roar more. Again, in-cap roar is off of the stun DR, so you can like triple stun something, and then you can in-cap roar, and then you can go back into stunning things. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'm thinking Shadow Meld Rake. I'm thinking if I'm in my Incon, I can Prowl Rake. Those are 2 different ways of stunning mobs. And then that's all I have, really. Those are the 3 things. And then I'll look to use Vortexes when appropriate. But I'm doing that, and I'm tracking that utility stuff that I'm looking for. And I'll get more in depth with that, as we go through the video. But what I'm also doing is I'm thinking about my rotation. And I play Blood Talents because it's more interesting. And the damage is basically the same, and I play it well enough. But I'm basically constantly thinking about the previous combo point generator I just did, the one I'm about to do, and the one that I'm going to follow up with. And I'm constantly tracking that in my head. Like constant. It's like a conveyor belt. And it's just constantly like being overlapped, right? And I'm constantly doing that in my head, separate from everything else that's going on. And then that way I know that I'm always going to have blood talons, I'm going to have my 5 common points, all that kind of stuff. Now we go into this boss here. So, use my Incon and stuff. I saved that because I want to make sure that I have it for, like, boss here. I wasn't going to get a good use on those ads. So I've got Incon going on here on this boss. Now, I know that there's going to be a frontal, so I want to position away from the boss, away from the tank, from the frontal, and then I want to look to clear my stacks very, very soon. So I move into like melee, look to get cleared. Now I want to move out, and I want to take a spot that I don't really see anyone in. Like, I'm tracking where everyone else is on my screen, and I want to kind of move away from where everybody else is. You can do some cute stuff there with, like, bear forming if you want to. I went back into cat form a little bit too early. But then I'm going to look just to bark skin here. I wait for that consuming stomp to come in. Oh, okay, I don't even commit the bark skin. I saved that, I suppose. So I go into bear form, that's fine. But I'm looking to either be like bear forming them or bark skinning them. I kind of tried to save SI because I don't need SI to live this on a 25-4. Even 25 Tyrannical, I don't need SI to live this. SI needs to be a last resort. Or what I like to do is if I'm in an Incon window, so you might see me in my Incon window, which comes up soon, you might see me when the consuming stomp comes in, using my SI, my survival instincts, because that means that I can stay DPSing, and I'm committing a cooldown which I don't need anywhere else on this fight. Like, if I need SI on this fight to live, we've already messed up, the fight's already over. I can just get away with bark skin and bear form, or just bear form. Now, I should look to bark skin there. Yep. Now, I don't bear form, and I should have, because there was one tree still alive, and that was very, very close. But if I bear form there, I would have been completely fine and safe. So that would have been a lot better. But I res the guy. Got to look to, like, Remark of the Wild soon as well. Clicking my pot, that's good. Nice. So I don't Remark of the Wild for this guy. I mean, it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. But he does need the verse before we go into the next stage. Yeah, okay, so Remark of the Wild. There we go. Normally it's like something that I'm tracking. I'm like, right, I just need to make sure I get it off to him. But I don't want to do it during my, like, cooldown window, right? So I still have Incon up. I don't think I'm going to have it up whilst we're doing... Nice. Okay, good awareness there. I'm looking at where he's kind of uncovered. I'm cat, I go fast, that means I can delay and see where's free. So I SI here, just because I guess I may as well. I'm just like DPSing and stuff. I just want to get some damage out. I don't need it anywhere else in the fight. I'm going to have Boxing coming up for the next one, so I'm fine. I'm dandy. I'm chilling. And then I have my stacks here. I kind of make note of people's positioning. Now somebody moves away from me, so I have to, like, transition round now and be aware of that. Somebody clears on me. That's cool. And then we go frontal. And then we kind of just want to try and focus the boss down here. And that should be fine. But in terms of, like, DPS rotation, again, on this, it's... Oh, I almost got tapped there. Now, can I go far? Yeah, in terms of, like, DPS rotation, I'm not going to... I might cover that in parts during this video, but I want to talk a lot about just, like, kind of what's going on in my head, what I'm trying to track. I'll do that as I kind of ease into this a little bit. But we can skip on a little bit here. I've got Zephyr up. I've got Barkskin up. I'm going to bear form. Yeah. So, oh, sorry. It already went through, so that's fine. Cool. So kill that boss. We can move on. We skip all the ads. Cool. We go next pack. Oh, yeah. So if anybody wants to see. So we skip past this, and then everybody commits Invis pot, and then we just go to the next pack. That's cool. Leave stealth before I take this so that I can get back into stealth, because it's going to take me out of stealth. So then when I get to the other side, I can go back into stealth. I know that it's not on CD, so I can get extra damage at the beginning of the pull. Now, Tank's probably going to stack some stuff up here. So I don't want to stealth rake. If I stealth rake, then everything's going to get stopped, and then we're not going to be able to chain pull onto the next pack. So I actually opt for a non-stealth rake here instead, because I don't want to, like, cause everything to be held up. Now I look to go deal with that explosive there, help out the healer a little bit. I don't know why I went into bear form, actually. Hold on, let me see. So I kill that explosive. Don't know why I go into bear form here. Oh, I incap roll. That's why. Of course. So there's some cast going through. I see a waking... Yeah, so I see a waking brand, and I see that it's in, like, the middle, and there's some goo on the floor, and, like, we can't get to it. So if I look to use the incap roll, but it's, like, literally as they get knocked up anyway. So it was kind of... It wasn't 100% needed, but... You know, that's just good awareness from the healer, and, you know, we're kind of... This is the thing when you're not on comms and you're plugging keys. Like, you're going to overlap a little bit, so it is what it is. But now I'm looking, I've got an interrupt marker, right? I'm trying to take care of Skull as best I can. The main thing here that we kick is the Waking Brand, which is going to happen after this bolt. But I have alternatives. So I can Shadow Meld Rake here, or I can Typhoon it. So I'm not too worried. Somebody else kicks it anyway, but I look to Typhoon because there's a few things going through, so that's fine. So I will throw my kick out if I know that I've got backups, and if I've got my own backups. So maybe I don't have a raw kick, but if I have a Typhoon or I have Incap Roar or I have Shadow Meld Rake, then I'll look to be doing that. So I kick the bolts because it is fortified, and so the tank is going to be getting clapped a little bit here. So it's helpful to do that. Yeah. That's it. So then we go into the next pull. I don't have like any CDs up. Now I can stealth rake because I don't think we're really going to be chaining. So I can stealth rake. I didn't even opt for it because I wasn't 100% sure clearly in this moment, but I could have. Now I'm just looking to get dots up on everything, doing the general rake, thrash, brutal slash, rake, thrash, brutal slash. That is the consistent rotation that I'm doing. I can never double rake. I can never double brutal slash, generally speaking, because you'll run out of brutal slashes or you will get an ape. The problem is you'll get an apex proc at an inopportune time, and then if you use that apex proc, then you're not going to be able to have Blood Talons for your next Primal Wrath. So you want to be doing that Rake, Thrash, Brutal Slash in any order. You can Brutal Slash, Rake, Thrash, do it however you want. Now, I Typhoon here because I see that we all got to move out. I move out late, wait for the mob to start casting, and then I Typhoon. The way I'm like tracking things in my head is I go into a pack clean, and I know that internal timers of casts of like, I don't want to say I know of like absolutely everything, because all everybody wants to run this season is cost 24 2 chest into double deplete of whatever we get from that. And they want to do SBG, right? So I haven't had as much practice in some of these other dungeons as I'd like, and it's kind of something that's going to work against me when the dungeon rotation does occur in 10.1, when we get the other 4 dungeons from this expansion and 4 random ones from WoW's history. Because for me, I need to do these dungeons dozens and dozens and dozens of times to really, really, really feel comfortable. Luckily for me, I stream all day, so I get that opportunity to do so. But yeah, we're going to go in here. You can use Flap. And then you can take this book here and we move over to the other side. I don't know why it doesn't auto-send me. That's fine. But now we're going to do this big pull here. I'm lucky that I don't get stuck in the AoE. Tiger Dash in. Now I can rake here, but I don't think I opt for it because it looks like you can tell if your tank is posturing. So you can tell, right? So I move in here. I can see the tank pull. When I do this, tank pulls and they're already on the move. So they're waiting for everybody to get in, but they're already on the move, and then they're kind of already moving in this direction. So I don't want to stun these things, because I don't know if the tank is about to leap and yeet away. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, I see this pack coming, and I know that we're going to chain it in. So I start... I'm dealing with these explosives first. If it wasn't explosive, I would have already transitioned and been halfway between each two packs. I'm covering these mobs at the back. Way too many times I've been in dungeons where these two mobs casting at the back have just been left to go free, and then you wipe because there's a mob on 3% HP that's just free casting on you and gets off the really, really nasty cast that you don't want them to get off. Now, watching my feet here, Ice Bindings, I see that going through, so I Typhoon it. I'm watching for that. I know that the most dangerous things in this pack is that Ice Binding guy, the Keeper, and then also these Waking Brands. The Waking Brands are going to put people to sleep. Those things are really dangerous because if you get put to sleep and then these swells come down, then you're dead. You can avoid those swells being put down if you... It's the Keeper as well. It's the Condensed Frost, I think. I thought it was that. Maybe it's a different ability. I'll have to go and double check that. But I think you can stop it... Oh, no. It's the Unstable Power. It's the Unstable Power. You just saw the Astral Attendant do it. So it's the Attendants casting the Unstable Power. If you can stop that cast, then it's technically okay if people get put to sleep, because there's nothing else to really worry about. Meanwhile, the whole time I am actually looking out for these frontals, because these frontals are going to obviously... Well, did we just see somebody die from one? I think we just see somebody die from one. No, 4 stacks are bursting. Yeah. I think he dies to it. Yeah, frontal there. So just walks in front, gets glacked by the frontal. Well, yeah, they're on the side there. And they just get glacked from the frontal. Now, something cool that you can do, unfortunately, I don't have Meld up right now, but another reason why Night Elf is so good in Mythic Plus is that this pack was dying and we wanted to chain pull. What I can do if I have Meld available is I can run away from the pack, I can Shadow Meld, and then I can do a regular battle res. I don't have to commit a battle res, which means we can save that for when we're on a boss or we're in later combat, and it's really, really important. But it means that we don't have to wait for the person to run back. We don't have to kill the pack without him. So I spend 8 seconds casting a res. We lose 8 seconds of my damage, but then we make up for it when both of us are up and running and we're going there. So that's good. So this pack is pretty chill. We're just like watching for the frontals the whole time. So I'm just making sure that I'm constantly looking at where these mobs are facing and where the tank is. And I'm staying really far back because these mobs are prone to just kind of spin. They pivot really easily with the slightest tank movement, and they'll just stop and do their animation on like the slightest little. Sometimes mobs kind of jostle around and like the tank's moving forward, but they kind of get caught on like the tank just shuffling a little bit to the right or left, and the mob gets stuck, and then it will spin, and then it will do a frontal, and you'll just get clacked. So these Vault Guards, they don't do anything. They're a tank worry. We don't care about that, so we're not worried. You can technically purge them if you're Shaman or Hunter or whatever. The Keeper, he's going to do his 2 casts. We care about interrupting both of those, and then the Attendant is going to do the little spinny boys on the ground. So we want to be watching for that, but ultimately, if that goes through, it's not the end of the world. You just dodge. There's literally nothing else to do here. There's no frontals. There's no nothing. So just 2 kicks. And I'm looking to try and take the I know, like, I'm thinking in my head, there's going to be somebody who's going to be taking that really important kick, because I know what people like in keys, because I'm the same. When you're pugging, you know, like, right, I'm going to be the hero, I'm going to take the hero kick. Sometimes I just trust in my team to take the hero kick, and I'll then, like, go against the, you know, I'll take a gamble, and I'll kick the unimportant thing, or the less important kick, because I know that somebody else is going to cover the important one. So I'll just, like, cover that. And then that way we're going to desync our kicks, and it's going to be good. So tank's looking to chain, so I'm going to be, like, holding up 5 combo points, Tiger Fury, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to Primal Wrath here, I think. Yeah, I do a Primal Wrath rather than a Rip, because I know the tank is not going to do a single mob. Waits for the breath to come in, I move, I wait, I come back to the side, because I know the tank's going to spin, because I know he's going to move in the direction of the mobs he wants to get to, and that's what he's waiting for. So that's why we kind of step back into the side. Now, again, Keeper here. We got 2 casts we got to look out for. I take the shitty one. Then I'm positioning at the back left here. Rather than being at the back, like over here, where I'm then going to struggle to hit all these mobs. And if I want to interrupt this mob, I'm going to charge through a frontal. I'm positioning here, because I'm safe from the frontal here. But I can still hit all 4 mobs and cleave off of them. And then that's good. So that's a little bit of like optimizing your positioning. It's very, very important that you're always like constantly optimizing your damage as much as you possibly can. Looking to help with explosives here, even just like a couple there, because I can just auto attack them. It's no big deal for me. It's like I can do all my rotation stuff without having to like specifically really target mobs. So that's cool. Watch out for the frontal still. Ice Bunny's coming through there. That's fine. Now what I'm thinking now is like this pack is over. I just want to save up combo points, and I want to save up Blood Talons, and we just want to move on. So I'm not looking to really like that pack's already dead to me. We move in here. I roar everyone. I can rake from stealth on this thing, I believe. Oh, I didn't even stealth because I ended up regrowthing and stuff because it was busting. That's fine. But gonna dive everything up here. Kind of position where I can cleave everything quickly. Very, very quickly, right? Looking for the binding cast. That's all you can really do here. There's nothing really to like look out for. The DH is taking the attendance, so that's cool. Now I'm going to look to clear. That's all fine. That's all good. I try and develop, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure a lot of people can probably do this. I don't really rely too much on weak auras. I look to do my, I look to learn mobs, again, like I say, by just doing dungeons over and over and over and over again. And I look to learn the mob by just knowing the order in which they cast abilities, and then knowing roughly the delay between each ability cast. Right, so we pull this boss, we're going to drag it away. I'm going to make sure I'm not in the frontal because this thing does a big cleave. I'm going to be watching it, moving away. Then I'm looking here for this image. I know that other people are going to look to kick instantly, so I'm going to hold my kick as a backup. Which, if everybody does that, it's bad, but I normally find that most of the time, other people are going to be looking to like get their kick ASAP. So I will just look to hold mine. Even there, I didn't instantly use. I'll wait a split second just to see if somebody else is going to use it. So that's fine. Dodging everything here. I can clear early, because this is just going to get messy. It's just not worth. Clear early. That's cool. We're all stacked up. You can cleave on both these mobs, but we're playing with an Evoker healer. So it's very important when you're playing with an Evoker healer to be in front of them. They have low healing rate. I mean, look at this right here. This is really good. Like, you can... Little things like this. Like, so we're about to all move in front of the Evoker, and then they're about to hit us with some AoE breath heal, right now. Bam, there it is, and it hits all of us, and that's good. Stuff like that, like being stacked up in front of the Evoker is quite important. They have a low-range heal, so I don't want to go running around, killing things, soloing things. Normally, you can position about here, so on the head or on the orbs, like midway through, and you can cleave off both mobs, and you can like jostle between both and like rake them, and then you can Primal Wrath and Brutal Slash and hit them both, which is good. But with an Evoker here, I just don't want to risk it. If you're also with a Holy Paladin, it's very similar. If you're with a Resto Druid, you want to be an F-Low, but I don't think they really rely on F-Low too much on this. So you can kind of spread with a Resto. With a Monk, you want to stack, I think, as well a bit. Basically, if you have any healer in your group. So unless you're running keys with Smok, then you want to make sure that you're kind of positioned in front of the healer. But that's basically it for this fight. There's nothing really nothing else I can really show on this one. This one's a bit whatever. So we just move on. So now we pull. I think I actually mess up here. I think I get a little bit too close. I don't know why I thought the tank's like already there. I don't know why. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're ready to go. Everyone's jumped down, but nope, the tank was behind. So a little bit of trolling there. We do a little bit of trolling. Now this mob can't actually get stunned, so I'm free to like stealth rake if I want to. I do stealth shred anyway because I'm just like, now it's just a habit for me to kind of do that a little bit. So moving through here, watching aggro. I'm going to look to res very quickly. Yeah, get this guy up. That's cool. Looking for this explosive on the periphery. Now, Skullmark is very important that we kill that first. And then I'm just watching my feet. Like, there's nothing really too bad to, like, track with these things. One cool thing with the Breaker, the Draconid Breaker, the guy we got the Skull Marker on, the non-frog. This mob, and I looked for a Typhoon there, by the way, just a second ago. I looked for a Typhoon because these mobs got a little bit scary, but hold on. Let me show you the Typhoon. So these mobs are all coming in. It gets a bit hectic here, right? So they're all going to be jumping, like, on top of us. I'm like, nope, get them gone, then we can move. Gives us more movement there, so that's great. The Breaker is going to target somebody at random to charge. If you have the marker on your head, you know it's charging you. If you Prowl, so you're Incon Prowl, or you Shadow Meld, whilst it's charging, it has to be in transit. Then it won't hit you, and it will stop the mechanic. So you won't take the damage. It's really important on a week, like, well, on any week, really, because it does a lot of AoE damage, and if you get the charge into the Raw, then you're dead unless you have a defensive, or your healer is, like, really good and watching. So the better you can Shadow Meld that and Prowl that and stuff like that, really, really important. Also, you want to be funneling onto that mob. I don't think I do a great job of it, really, here, but that's something I can improve on, is better funnel on that single mob. And that's where people will be like, oh, well, is it better to spam Primal Wrath? Do I bite? Like, when do you do that? It's like, for me, in that situation, if I need to be funneling onto a particular mob that, like, these frogs we can chain for 1,000 years and we won't die. Those breakers, though, will eventually, like, one little mistake and you're dead from that thing. So you just want to funnel onto it. It's the thing that's preventing you from chaining on. So you want to constantly be looking to kill it. You can see I'm, like, raking it. I'm primary targeting it and stuff. Okay, am I going to Shadow Meld it? Yeah, so I Shadow Meld that. So see how I don't take any damage? This is a really, really good example. So I got the charge on me. I moved just a couple steps just to give me room. If you feel less comfortable, you can move a bit more. But I moved there and I Shadow Meld literally on a dime. That's beautiful, actually. That's really nice. Let's go on the highlight reel. I want to watch it one more time. This is good. So dodge this. I mean, look how close he is. Ready? Oh! Oh, that's beautiful. So I don't take the damage there because I Shadow Meld. So that's something that you can do to really help your healer. I even bear formed that Raw coming through. That's cool too. I get the thing on me again, but I literally have nothing for it. So I just bear form. And you just take it. But, see, imagine if I'd taken 2 charges and the Raw. I would have been crippled here. Like, I would be limping. 1 explosive goes off then, or 1 bursting stack, I'm dead. So things like that really, really going to be helpful. It's really going to help. I'm looking for explosives here. You can see me targeting them. And again, like, I'll swivel with my mouse. So I'll do, like, I'll do little things here with my mouse where I'm literally just, like, ready to right. So I'm, like, attacking stuff, whatever. And I'll just, like, swivel like that and turn and hit. You'll also see me do stuff like, say I have a mob, like, here. You'll see me do stuff where I'll, like, turn. I'll like, turn, tab, and entangle all in 1 movement. I'll kind of show you here a bit. So I'll do some stuff like here. Say we're like attacking some stuff in this mob. Like I want to turn. I can turn and like, okay, I'm fat fingering everything. And turn, be like DPS and whatever. And then bam. And then go back. And like little things like that. Little like mouse movements and swivel and stuff. That was a really terrible, awful example. But you'll see me do it a lot better when I'm in keys. First mechanic of the day, okay? I'm rusty. Making this video before I game. But yeah, you get the point that I'm trying to make, right? You can like do those little swivel moves and stuff like that. I might incap here. Okay, I didn't incap, but yeah, there we go. I incap as they're coming in, so that negates it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not focused too much on like rotation stuff in this dungeon, but I think I'm also just want to talk through my approach of what I'm thinking about pack to pack to pack to pack. I think I can maybe do this a bit better in future, but I'm like fairly happy with that. Now we go into this boss. I don't want to pop cooldowns here on pull, so I'm cool to like use cooldowns elsewhere. I'm positioning away from the rest of the group. We have extended range as Feral, which is pretty good. I also want to look to clear fairly early. And something that you can do if you get this Icy Devastator on you is you can Shadow Meld it, or you can Incon Prowl it. Stuff like that is good. You can look to clear here, take care of the explosives. Bear Form. I Bear Form a bit early, which is a bit of a shame because I'm going to lose Ursine, but that's okay. I live anyway. But try not to Bear Form too early. And then it's just like a lot of the same. It's just like spread. Like I'll try and DPS as much as I can, and then I'll move out. You don't need to like really Bear Form anymore. The damage is delayed on it now, so you can wait. You don't have to like jump out of it or anything like that. You can just walk out casually. It's fine. Trying to position away from the person with the Icy Devastator. And then, yeah, just like maintaining your dots and stuff. This boss is really hard for Feral to do any damage at all, unless you're playing like a non-bleed, pure bite shred build, which even then is, you know, not going to be fantastic. But, yeah, and then there's not really too much to show on this boss, really, apart from that. It's just like a positional thing. I'll go on to the last boss. So, we go in here. Now, top tip, as Feral, like, the more you move, the more your stacks go up here. So, it's only whilst you're moving that you gain stacks. If you stand still, like, I'm jumping around just doing dumb shit, and I'm just getting a bunch of stacks. No point. I don't know why I'm doing this. But I do it sometimes just because, I don't know. It's like quicksand. Yeah, you can shapeshift that, or if you just stand still, it'll drop. Now I'm going to have to probably shapeshift this to move. Somebody comes to me, that's cool. So we clear there. Looking to deal with this hardened crystal, but then I see a couple people are on it, so I move and I try and position where I can hit all of these. I don't quite get all of them, but I get a few in the boss, and then I position here where I can hit both. And then I'm going to bark skin there. So for that destruction cast that comes through, you want to pre-bark skin or bear form or something. Now, we all kind of start dying. I go in bear form here, and I have good reason for going in bear form. Normally, I'll go in bear form. Okay, so normally I'm the person that gets aggro. If you actually look, I'm top damage. I don't know how I didn't get aggro. Oh, because I probably did more damage. Yeah, because there's ads on this fight. Yeah. So normally I get like instant aggro whenever that happens. So I instinctively bear form. But I don't think it was, like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just insta-res. But it's fine. So I go into bear form. Then I have to leave bear form. Then I have to battle res. Then I have to go back into bear form and taunt. Which gives the tank time to get back up. And then they can taunt. Because the shaman was, like, about to die. And then I res the other dude. And then we just play it out. But this is kind of a reason why cat res is cringe, because if tank had died here and I could res in cat form, I could instantly press and they would just instantly be back up. And then, yeah, the guy would still die, but like it would just be way smoother. But I taunt. Look, bear form taunt, insta. Jellyfish was about to die, so that was like helpful. A lot of things like that good. And then Remark of the Wild soon as well. I'm definitely gonna want to do that. I try to not do that, like, if my bleeds are about to drop off. I try and wait until after I've reapplied my bleeds, or, like, until, or until, like, if I'm in the middle of proccing a Blood Talons, I try to wait until after that, you know? Right, a Tiger Dash here, you can, like, roll people and stuff, you can, like, shapeshift Tiger Dash, that kind of stuff is all good. Try and position where I can cleave as many as possible. Clear with my, partner for Thundering, then good. Try and just swivel around these orbs. And that's basically it. There's not really too much else to this fight. Dodging the frontal, helping with explosives, with auto attacks, that kind of stuff. That's basically it. Hopefully, this was a helpful video. Hopefully you learned like some kind of thing of what I'm thinking through when I'm doing these dungeons. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what would be helpful to see in future. And thanks for watching.